Hello everyone, welcome to a special edition of Superman's Trick Shot Tuesday. It's the fourth Tuesday of the month, and we all know what that means. Sponsor Spotlight. In this series, I highlight a sponsor of mine that has been helping me through this journey, and I'm here at day one sponsor McDermott Cues here in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Hey everyone, like I said, I'm on site here at McDermott, and I'm here with Jamie Cernica from McDermott. Say hi to everybody, Jamie.
Hello, everybody.
So, how long have you been with McDermott, and what is it exactly you do here? Because you do a lot here.
I wear multiple hats, but been here 26 years, and my main role is customer service manager. So I basically handle all the post-sale support. So I'm kind of like the liaison between the queue owner and our service department. So when something needs to get fixed on a queue, you send it to us. I kind of discuss and evaluate exactly what it needs, and then process all the paperwork and all that stuff and get it back to our production team so they can work their magic.
Yep, and he's also the main guy in the McDermott booth. So if you've ever been to the Super Billiards Expo or to the APA event in August, he's always there as well. He has a unique talent, and luckily we're not testing you with it today. Since I've been in the booth with him a number of years, he can ID just about any McDermott cue just by looking at it. He's batting 1,000 so far, seeing in the booth, so it's very impressive to see.
Yeah, it's that's one of the advantages to seeing all these cues that come in for servicing. I obviously familiarize myself with our whole history, and we get a lot of cues from all different eras sent in for cue servicing. So we could get a cue from 40 years ago that they want to have serviced. So we identify every cue when it comes in so we can track it properly, and it's kind of a cool thing to be able to give a little bit more history and background about a cue if somebody doesn't know what they have. A lot of times they're curious on, what do I have here? And we can usually nail down the model number and when it was made and kind of what it sold for back then. It's kind of cool.
Yep, I've heard some really cool stories from people that have sent stuff in. Okay, so McDermott does have the best warranty in the business.
I believe so.
Yeah, I've had a friend of mine specifically switch brands because of the warranty that you guys have. So can you kind of tell everybody a little bit about the warranty McDermott has?
Yeah, so we've always had a lifetime warranty on our cues since 1975. Jim McDermott, the founder of the company, he believed in a strong warranty. So you build a good enough product, you should be able to stand behind it. So we've carried on that tradition, and we actually enhanced the warranty program in 2004. We introduced the warp warranty. So up until that point, no cue manufacturer in the industry ever offered a warranty that covers warping. So 2004, we set the standard there as the first company to offer that. So we continue that today. We also added a lifetime maintenance plan at that time as well. So you can send in your McDermott cue, and we do basically like a tune-up on the cue. We can kind of clean it up, get a new tip installed, just do an overall evaluation and inspection. And if we notice anything wrong, we can address those issues.
Yep. On a side note, since you mentioned Jim McDermott, since you've been here that long, did you ever have the opportunity to meet him or work with him, and how was he?
Yeah, he was very, very cool dude. He had retired by the time I started. I started in the late 90s, so he was already retired by then. But I was able to meet him after the fact. He came to a couple of the BCA expos, and we kind of launched our Cue of the Year series, which has been very popular. And some of those first introductory Cue series actually had the James McDermott signature on them. So he would actually go to the expos and he would be signing the certificates of authenticity. So that was kind of cool to see. So I did meet him, and great guy. I mean, he just dripped with passion for the sport, and that carried over into the production side of things. And really all he wanted to do was make a great cue that stood up, held the test of time, and that's what made him happy. So yeah, we're happy to carry on that tradition.
And you guys definitely are. And you're talking about like the timing, 1975. So just last year, McDermott celebrated 50 years, in the billiard industry. So what are some of the things that you attribute for McDermott being a major player in the cue market for 50 years?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it all circles back to the quality of the product that you make. I mean, you don't stay in business for 50 years unless you're making a quality product that people are going to come back to and know that it's a reliable product. And if there is an issue or a problem, you have somewhere to go to service it. That's very important for a lot of pool players or anything that you buy. You want to be able to have support after you buy it in case you need something. So I think that really goes back, like I said, to the overall quality, the passion that we put into building the cues. I think that's what kind of sets us up as one of the major cue manufacturers, and our commitment to the quality part of it is something that we take very seriously.
Yep. And the warranty you guys have with that definitely proves that. So also with it being the 50th anniversary just last year, there was a new anniversary Q series that were inspired by previous models, but with a new take on that. So how did that come to me? How did that come to be, and how fun was it to put some of those together?
It was a really cool project. I was excited because as kind of the local business Q historian, I obviously have kind of my personal favorite, cues over the years, and I was able to, have some input and feedback on, models that we may want to use for this series. So we took kind of feedback from a lot of different places, but the 12 cues that were inspired by older models, I think were a really good choice. I think they were very tastefully done. Many of those sold out very quickly. We still have, as of time of recording this, there's still maybe half a dozen of those models that are still available to order, but we're getting low on inventory on those too. So there's only 50 of each model. So yeah, just kind of creating new cues, but honoring the old school styles is kind of what I think drew a lot of people to that series. And from a collectability standpoint, I think they're going to hold some pretty good value down the road.
I would agree. I saw all of them here in person, and they're pretty sharp. So definitely check those out. Speaking of one unique cue line to another, the Chops cues.
Yeah, right.
Everybody talks about them, especially the first generation. Last year, the second iteration came involved a couple years after the Gen 1. So for those who don't know, how did the collaboration with Chops come to me? And for those who don't know, what is Chops?
So Chops is a company that what they do is they take old skateboard decks and they repurpose that material. So what they do is they cut up all the skateboard decks and they can stack them and laminate them all together to create larger pieces so that we can use it as a cue. So basically Chops, years before our first project we did with them, that was back in 2020, years before that they had reached out to us because they had seen some other projects that they saw that we did, that they were impressed by. And obviously the kind of the standing that we have in the industry as one of the leaders, they felt good about doing a joint project with us. So basically from there it stemmed into how do we incorporate the skateboard wood into a cue. So we came up with some design options, and 2020 released that first series that went over extremely well. We sold many more than we anticipated. So fast forward to last year, 2025, people kept asking us, when are you doing another Chops cue? When are you doing another Chops cue? Well, it took them a while to build up enough inventory for us to do another project, but that finally came to fruition. So the second iteration that we launched late last year, super successful Sneaky Pete design. There were 2 different models that we offered, and we launched those, and they sold out within a matter of hours.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I got so many messages
Yeah.
that day, like, can you give me one? Can you give me one? And like, you're right, they went like hotcakes. And being in the booth for about the last 5, 6, 7 years with you guys, I can attest to that every time we were there, when's the next chops coming in? When's the next chops coming out? And it was just, the demand for those were ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's really, it's a joint project. So obviously we rely on chops to supply us with the wood to build the cues. So will there be a third generation, third iteration? Potentially, never say never. The ball's in their court, I would say.
Yep. So I have a feeling if the third generation comes, it'll be just as popular as the first 2.
Yep.
So what is one thing that you could tell everybody that you want people to know about McDermott Q?
I guess overall, just the craftsmanship that goes into building our cues. A lot of people, I don't think, understand the amount of detail that goes into building a cue. So one of the tools that we have to kind of educate people is our how it's made cue video. So that kind of explains the whole process from raw materials to a finished cue. There's kind of a common misconception that because we're more of a higher volume cue company and we build a lot of cues, they assume we just feed the material into machines and out pops a finished cue. But there's a lot of handling, there's a lot of special operations and technical assembly that's required on a cue. So there's really a lot that goes into it, and kind of, like I said, educating the consumer on what all goes into building one of our cues, I think helps justify the cost of a cue. I'll get a lot of questions like, what's the difference between a $500 cue and a $5,000 cue? I mean, from a playability and performance standpoint, maybe not a ton, but when you look at the design and artistry that's in the higher end cue line, that's where the high level of craftsmanship is really going to come into play. And that video does a great job of kind of explaining the overall process there. So that's kind of one direction I would lead people to just know a little bit more about our company.
Yep, and that video will be linked at the end of this particular video so everyone can see it. It's an amazing video. It's 19 minutes. You're going to like the fact that you watched it. So this is one last question that I have with all the sponsors. And like I said, they're the very first one, day one. Do you remember how that came to be? I'm going to tell you what I think, if I remember correctly, and see if you can see if that's the same.
That's a good question.
Yep. Steve Lillis, who was was the founder and president of Gospel Trick Shot Ministries, suggested me to you guys. And that's how I remember it. I wasn't the one who signed the contract or signed anything.
Yes.
So what do you remember?
That's my recollection as well. I think it was maybe a combination of recommendations and feedback from Steve Lillis and Tom Rossman, who's also part of the Gospel Trick Shot Ministry. So yeah, that's my recollection as well. And I'll say it's been a great collaboration and great partnership, and we love having you aboard.
Yep, I love being here. Let's just say, I think I have way more fun with the Q sponsors than anybody else that has a Q sponsor. I can almost say that because we have a great time. Like I said, we're in the booth all the time, and I cannot thank these guys enough for bringing me on. Like I said, they were day one, the very first sponsor that I had, and I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Hey, we'd love to keep you forever.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you everyone for watching. Definitely check out the video link at the end of this. I want to say a big thank you to all my sponsors that have helped me throughout the years. Opportunities like this would not have happened without their support. I have links to all of them in the description of this video. Check them out. That concludes this week's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd appreciate it if you would, as well as clicking the notifications bell so you know when I post next. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. As always, thank you everyone for watching. Hope to see you in the future. And make sure sometime if you see me at an event, stop by and say hello. Until next week, stay super, everyone.